Hello everyone, in today's video we will set up a really basic quest and integrate the quest UI into the existing UI. Similar to what we did with the inventory UI, we'll be integrating the quest UI into the advanced UI we set up. If you haven't seen that, that's completely fine. These steps can be followed to integrate into any UI you would like. Now as you can see, I wasn't going to go for any award-winning designs here. The goal was to simply show how you can customize the look and feel. The quest that is set up is a really simple go and kill that guy, like the many filler missions you will find in, well, pretty much any action RPG. In order to create this, we will need Unity, Game Creator, and the quest module. So let's dive in. So like I mentioned, I will be reusing my advanced UI for the purpose of this tutorial. I'll be reusing this scene. If you haven't seen the advanced UI or you have your own UI, just follow along. These steps can be followed for any UI. It doesn't really matter which one you're using. So I'm going to call this 01 quest tutorial and open it up. So there we have it, really basic scene, nothing special going on here. So the first thing we will do is actually set up the quest. Now the reason I'm doing that is because I will be referencing to that quest quite a lot with everything I'm going to set up here. So it just seemed easier to start off with, well, you know, the basics. So if we go to Game Creator Preferences, we will have a quest tab. If you do not have that and you do not see this top one here, Murder at the Table, means you haven't installed the examples. Please make sure you do. It's just easier and you might learn a lot. So the Murder at the Table quest in the example is actually a lot more detailed than the one we'll be doing, but the goal here is mostly making sure the quest UI actually integrates into any existing one and how you can set up a basic one from scratch. Now I have the kill that guy here. Just going to create a new one. By default they have some really funny names. So we'll do kill that dude. Completely new quest, really exciting. So let's check some of the basics. Nothing groundbreaking here. I am going to toggle this option so it can be abandoned. Basically this will mean that you do not have to do this quest, making it an optional quest. If you do not have this toggled, it means it's a mandatory quest. Well, you know how it works in games, right? So optional, mandatory, really simple. There are a couple of conditions you can set up, so once certain requirements have been met. So for example, say Murder at the Table quest is actually finished is a condition before this will activate. So a really simple way to basically create follow-up quests. Now we have a on complete as well, so something that will happen once this scene completes. So I'm going to check something here. Can't really remember what it is called, in all honesty. Oh, there we go. Instant shade. I was typing in initiate. So there's a default file that Game Creator has created for one of the examples. I'm sure it's called case closed. So I'm going to look that up. I'm going to duplicate that one. As you can see, I already did. And we're going to open this up. Now, just going to drag these to the side just for a moment. I won't be doing much here. Maybe drag them down, it's better. There we go. So I just want to finish the text here. The default text says case closed, and I'm going to make this mission completed. There we go. So just a way to show how it works. The nice thing here with these is that it's animated, it looks really nice, and it already has actions set up. So on start, this will happen. It's a really cool way. Obviously, you can completely customize the way this looks. but it's a really nice, you know, end of mission scene basically. So we're going to grab that. So I finished case close 2. Going to drag that in here. And that's it. We're not going to touch anything else. So once the mission completes, we will see that on screen for a couple of seconds. So really simple, really basic. Now this mission doesn't have any tasks, so we need to make sure there's actually some tasks to complete. So let's add our first task here. We will name it slightly different. So there we go. And we're going to add another one. And oh well, there we go. Let me remove that. There we go. And this will be completed. Not the best, not the best description, but you get the point. So on complete, this will do a action based on quests. So we're going to use quest status. Now you can have kill that dude actually have a progress. If you want to see how that works, actually check out the example. That's relevant if it has multiple different tasks, etc. We're going to keep it really simple. It's just, you know, go there, kill that guy. You know, really basic. So once go do it is completed, it's going to activate completed. Maybe I should have chosen a different name for completed, but well, doesn't matter. So that's going to activate. Really simple, really straightforward. And now for the next one, we're going to go to completed. And this will do the same, but then for the general actual quest. So kill that dude is complete. And because that's complete, it will activate our completed scene. UI, sorry. So really basic, really straightforward. Obviously nothing is actually set yet, but we're going to do that in the scene itself. So there we have it. Now there's several ways you can do this. You can have this quest start however you like. For the purpose of the tutorial, I will keep it really, really simple. I'm simply going to do it on start, so. There we go. Maybe I should have actually done that in the correct one, so I'm not here. Sorry about that. So on start, we are going to start our quest. Let's make it easily visible. So we're going to do the actions here. Let me remove this one. There we go. Just to keep it a bit simple. So what we're going to do here is by default we need to activate the quest. So we're going to do this on start. Obviously you can choose whatever trigger you want. So on a scene enter, you know, once you collide with something or talk to someone, whatever makes you happy. We just set it simply to on start, but again, you do not have to do that. Now, once you press quests here, it will automatically open up this window. So as you can see, this is the reason why we had to actually start off by doing this. Now it will activate the quest itself, but it also needs to activate the first task. So we're going to duplicate that and get the first task. Really simple, really straightforward. And if you really want to complete this, do a destroy after finishing. That way you're sure, it's gone. It's not a repeatable quest. If you want it to be a repeatable quest, I don't know why you would want that, but if you do, make sure you don't destroy it after finishing. Next up, we're going to do the same here with the basic. So let me remove the, duplicating is never a good idea actually with triggers. I'm just going to create a new empty here. I'm going to rename this to completed. There we go. Another trigger. And the nice thing here is you can actually trigger based on quest status, which is something I really enjoy. So if completed is active, what is going to happen? Now, if completed is active, that means we're already at the stage where we, kill this little guy, and we need something to happen. Now, I'm going to, again add the component here for actions, just to make it slightly more. We're only adding a couple of things, so it's easily visible. It's not something we'll copy over to something else anyway. Now we're going to start by actually closing the HUD. Now I know this doesn't actually make a lot of sense yet because we don't have a HUD yet, but it will in a bit. So this is not your main menu or menu, journal, whatever you want to call it. This is the HUD that displays on your player UI. So I want to make sure that's closed. Going to wait. I always like adding waits. And then we will do another quest status, and this one, well, that didn't work. This one is complete. Now once this is complete, it will trigger the entire mission to be complete. So this is the last task. Again, like I said, really basic quest here, nothing out of the ordinary. Now we need to drag in a couple of elements. You don't have to do it like this, but we will be reusing what Game Creator already created. Let's first make sure we actually finish this quest off by, I'm doing it this way, and again this was maybe not the best way, maybe a bit rushed, but it's something simple that works. So just gonna trigger something really simple just to make sure it actually triggers the quest. So once this guy dies, quest completed becomes active. So we went full circle here. We started the quest. Once this guy is dead, this will activate, so we will set that up. And once this activates, this will activate. So really simple, really short quest. Going to disable this one. And where are you? There you are. There you go. So I'd like to, reiterate here, this might definitely not be the best idea. Maybe working with bulls is way better. It's just something really simple, really straightforward. I would definitely recommend working with variables if you're going to set up more than just, this simple thing. But this is something that works, and at least you know how it's all done. So we're done with our guy here. That's all he needs to do. So now that we've done that, we need to make sure we actually have a UI to work with. So I will look where I was able to find that quests. Is it here? No, it was not here. There we go. So we have our HUD and we have our journal. Now we'll start off with the HUD because that's, well, quite honestly, the easiest one to do. So we are going to drag the HUD into our existing UI. And let's drag it. There we go. At the bottom. Going to unpack this. Just want to make sure I don't mess with the original prefab. And not a lot is going on here. You know, this is all automated. It inherits because now it's part of the existing. It's all good, all nice. Now, this is what we're actually seeing. So that's quite important here. So you can play around with these values for positioning. You can have it in whatever corner you want. But this is actually what we are using here. So I guess I actually did added the original ones. Doesn't really matter. Let me show you what you can do. So this is this, you know, I have a basic square here as the source image. So, you know, change this to whatever you want. If you want it to be a star, it becomes a star. You can basically just customize this to whatever look you want. Same with the text. Change the text to whatever you want. Now, this is the quest route. Then you have another one, which is the quest task. Here you will have to do the exact same thing. So again, this is all already animated, which is really nice. You can change the animations. We have an overlay here, which I'm pretty sure I didn't really see actually. We have the bullet. Now I changed the bullet. Let me focus on that here real quick. Not even sure you can see it here. Oh well, you can see it somewhere else. But basically I changed it to a search icon. By default it was just a circle. So I changed it to the search icon, which I have in one of my UI packs, but you can change it to whatever sprite you want. And then again, same with the text. Change the text to whatever you want. Now this will be the information you are going to see in your live update in your player UI, so not the main menu. So a couple of basic things, but there's not much I changed here. You can go ahead and make things really complicated. It's completely up to you. Now the interesting one will be the actual journal. So let me activate that pause menu. So this is my pause menu, basic one, nothing special. Now I do not want the journal to be another button that opens up another UI. I want it to be in my menu. I just want everything combined, everything integrated, not have, I don't know how many different buttons to open up different UIs. So in order to do that, I will put our HUD in this overview tab. Now I already have something in here which is well, nothing really. This is just text and icons. There's nothing interactive about this. So let's go to quest resources again and grab that journal. Now I want this to appear under my, let me just drag it in like this first, I think. Yeah, then we're going to drag it in overview. There we go. So as you can see, there's already a UI. This is what it looks like. It's really nice, I guess. Now I want this to be part of the overview. I'm going to unpack this prefab, something I always prefer doing, really. So we have a background here, and then we have the panel wall, the content. Now the background, I'm not going to use the background. I already have a background because we're integrating this. So I'm simply removing that. Now this has different prefabs as well and animations, which is really nice. Now because this is part of my existing UI, I don't want the animation. It needs to be part of something that already exists, so no animation for me. And I'm pretty sure I actually forgot to do that with my HUD one. Let me double check. And yeah, there we go. Going to do the same here. So removing that animation because it's already part of an existing UI. It's weird. Cool. So we have our pause menu and we have our journal. Now let me remove that. So this is going to be my new go-to. When I press this tab, I want this to activate. Now in order for that to work with my existing UI, we have something set up here. So we have a couple of actions set up on each tab. So once I press this tab, the information from these tabs will disappear. So now this is set to my fake journal OV content. So we're going to drag in our real journal. You can rename it, you can do whatever you want. Just going to keep it simple. Going to do the same here. So let me just drag everything in. And the same with inventory. Where are you? There you are. Perfect. So OV content is no longer in use anywhere. So I'm just going to remove that. It was, just literally text and a bunch of images to give the impression of an actual journal. So let's open this up again. Now there's a lot we need to do here. It's obviously way too big, so I'm going to start with the basic, just make it fit somehow. There we go. Yeah, seems about right. So this will be the active quests. I want to be clear here, I'm just guessing on sizes here. It will definitely not be a perfect match, but whatever. So here we go. It fits in and it will activate once I press this tab. So really basic, nothing fancy here. Now, let me make sure I actually grab that panel. There you go. So all of this is just to make it fit in the existing one. Now here it we're going to customization. So, what do we actually want to do? So this panel has this image here. I don't want an image at all. We already have a background. I'm going to do the same here. Again, this is completely personal. I already have a background, so I don't really see the need of adding more backgrounds. Yes, I could remove them, but this is the easiest way. Perfect. So reason I'm not removing that much and instead just messing around like this is because I want to make sure we're keeping everything functional. So I don't want to remove any objects that the quest system actually relies on. Now I'm sure I must have some decent looking images somewhere. Let me open this up. Panels. It looks really basic. Well, there we go, regular button. Let's see what this actually looks like. I haven't tried this out. Oh, we have the text activated here. Yeah, looks like a button. We're just going to keep that. Now, by default, all of this, most of the text has shadows, which is nice. I'm not a fan of shadows, so I'm just going to remove that. And we'll do semi-bold. And we're going to change it to active missions, because I'm pretty sure I did mission completed. There we go. Nothing special here, just really basic. So this is how you can change a couple of those things. Now you can do the same with the scroll bars, the handle. Pretty sure I even used the same button for that. Which is, yeah, pretty sure I did. There we go. So this is the actual viewport. This is where all of the information will be displayed. Now, as you can see, that isn't all that big, so I'm going to make that slightly bigger. I'm going to move our scroll bar a bit as well. There we go. Now, as you can see, this works with sliders, so even if there's too much information, it will just scroll down. Now, I want to have an impression, of what this actually looks like. So there we have it, quest detail. That's your impression. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to go with semi-bold. Let's keep the shadow this time. And this title has this beautiful image, which is just lovely. Going to remove it completely and actually do it like this. Now the text here doesn't really matter. Your text will be populated here. This is just your basic impression. So this will be the quest title. So don't, you can keep this to what it is right now. Description, that can change. So you can change that to whatever text you want. This will not be altered. Just going to go with regular here. And then we have the actual text. Now, this is a lovely fake text. I'm going to remove everything except for a single sentence here, just so we actually see everything else. I'm going to remove this decoration image. I don't want it. Did I properly remove that image wrap? There we go. So this is where the task will be displayed as well. So I'm going to go with, I think it was regular. There we go. So I'm just going to keep it simple. Task, don't need that entire word. Let me actually change the text here as well. Regular, and we'll keep it at 12. Doesn't need to be that big. And we have two buttons here. Now, if you remember from the start, I had the option to have abandon quest in there or not. If that is not toggled, this button will simply not appear. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty nice. Now I am not going to change all of the images again. So basically you have all of these highlighted, pressed, selected, disabled, just like we had with the basic UI setup. So really nice. You can change all of that and make it look like whatever you want. I'm just going to keep the default buttons here. You know how to select something new, so I'm not going to take those steps for you. So that's really nice. Now there's a couple of things that are not in here, and you might have already noticed that the tasks are not actually in here. There's nothing visible, so we need to make sure we can actually change the look of that as well, and that is journal list entry. So we are opening this up, and basically in here we have state, text, and tracking. So what is this? So journal list entry is something where you again can change the look and how it feels. This is what will appear here. So that's that entry in your active missions. So this is what you need to alter and change to, well, basically have the look and feel you'd like. So let's go with gray this time, and you'll see what I mean. So the text is already altered to this. Perfect, lovely. And detailed tasks is what you will see in tasks in your UI. So you can see here I already changed the icons. Now you have different icons here. So you have inactive, active, completed, failed, and abandoned. Now all of these use the same sprite for me. You can change that to whatever. So failed, you can change it to a cross, for example, but the color coding for me decides what will happen with these images. Again, this is what the text will look like, so change that to whatever you'd like as well. I'm going to change that to 12 because that's what the normal size of the rest of the description was, so I just wanted it to match really. And that's how you alter that text. Now we can basically spend an hour here trying to refine this, make it look better. I'm not going to do that. You get the gist, you know how it works. So we are going to give this a try. So I will turn this off, turn this back on. I'm going to press play, and let's see what it actually looks like. Now this is the in-game HUD. As you can see, that's actually really big, and it automatically appears. I didn't actually do anything, I didn't activate it. So here we have the track quest, which will pop that little icon. Again, this is the icon you can change in journal list entry. So you can change this to whatever you want. Now, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want this to appear by default. I think it's, well, I didn't select the mission yet, I didn't track it, so why is this appearing? So that's something we'll look at as well. We're going to test out our functionality here. And our mission completes just fine. Perfect. So that was literally the mission. I know, really basic. Now let's make sure this doesn't actually activate the HUD by default, because I'm not a fan of that. I think it should only appear when you track a quest. It's a personal opinion, but let's do that. So here we go, player UI, quest HUD. I think it's this one, yeah. So this is the optional thing, and again, this is a personal preference. I think it should only be displayed once a quest is actually tracked. It's my opinion. Here you can filter for everything you'd like to be displayed. This is a really good example of how you can in quest groups in general. So let me open up the pause menu here as well. Where are you? Pause menu, overview, there we go, quest journal. You have the same one here. This shows automatic, active, And obviously it can't display only tracked in the actual pause menu in this one. That would be weird, but you might have seen in many games that you have different lists basically showing all of your failed, completed, etc. as well, so you can just revisit everything you did. Now you can have filter options here, which most games do, and based on what you filter it will display something. So it will display all of the active quests, inactive quests. Well, inactive doesn't make a lot of sense actually. Everything completed, failed, and abandoned, which is a pretty cool way to track everything you have. So something, you know, I definitely recommend having filter options just to make sure that when you select the filter option you'll have a different UI, or you know, go ahead and change these settings. But really cool that we can do that. Now let's head back, because I'm going back and forth here. Let's head back to our basic quest HUD. So I only want active quests that are tracked to be visible. So once I hit play again, nothing will actually activate. So there's no quest in our HUD. It's all really basic and nothing's happening. Going to open up our menu. We have our awesome mission, kill that dude. We're going to track this quest, hit resume, and suddenly we have our mission. So works exactly the same as before. Going to cheat here and use slow motion.
I am hit. Enemy!
Perfect. So as you can see in slow motion, it's actually slightly easier to see everything activate. So we had our mission become green there. We have our end screen and everything works nicely. And when we go back to our menu, it's no longer an active mission because that's what this is filtered on. So only active missions, but we completed the mission. So it will no longer be there. Now, just like completing that mission actually activates our completed UI screen, basically, you can select whatever you want to happen. So that's really nice. So someone asked me to activate a power, for example, this way. That's a really easy way to do it actually. So when you go to game creator preferences, you can have whatever you want happen on complete. You can also do it the other way around, so only display things with the condition. So if you only want, I don't know, whatever to be activated depending on a condition, you could simply add, let's do a quick example here. So you could have a condition based on a quest. So quest status. So if quest is complete, you could simply activate whatever you want. So this is another way to do it. If quest is active, you know, a power becomes active or whatever. Reason I didn't do that in this this video is because I thought it would actually be cool to have a different tutorial with skill trees. I think that's a lot more interesting than just having one quest do something. I think skill trees are something a lot of games use. It's a really cool way. So I will do a video based on skill trees that is using the quest module as well. So we're going to tie the skill tree to the quest module. So something really cool to look forward to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.